Hundreds of demonstrators have taken to the streets in cities around the world to protest against the Israeli airstrikes and ground offensive in Gaza. In Peru's capital, protesters shouted, "Gaza, stay strong. The world is with you." Protester Omar Shehadeh.
I think it's important that in all countries we defend human rights and we unite to resist the massacre in Palestine.
In Paris, despite a ban on protests, a pro-Palestinian demonstration turned violent as protesters threw stones and bottles, and police responded with tear gas and stun grenades. In Turkey, protests at the Israeli diplomatic missions in Istanbul and Ankara also led to clashes with authorities who used tear gas and water cannon to disperse the crowds. Protesters Zeliha Serkan called for cutting Turkey-Israeli ties.
They are killing thousands of people. We are here to raise our voice against it. We call on the government to cut ties with Israel.
Palestinian officials say the Gaza death toll has now topped 600, with many of the dead children and other civilians. The Israeli military says it has killed 183 militants while losing 27 of its soldiers and 2 civilians. Reuven Azar is the Israeli deputy ambassador in Washington.
As we sit down here, millions of Israeli citizens, actually 6 million of Israeli citizens, that's 3/4 of our country, are being attacked by thousands of rockets. This brings us to a situation in which we have to defend ourselves.
Azar says that Israel has been doing whatever it can to spare civilians, including sending text messages and dropping pamphlets to warn them of attacks. As for the protest over the Palestinian casualties, Azar has this to say.
First of all, we sympathize with the people of Gaza, and it's very natural that people sympathize with the people of Gaza. Now the question is, what is the solution for that? We have to isolate the terrorists. We have to isolate the extremists.
Meanwhile, protests against the Israeli assault continue, such as this one in the Moroccan capital.
It's an issue that should disgust everyone, all free men and not just Muslims, because it's a human matter.
But Peggy Shapiro of the pro-Israeli organization Stand With Us says via Skype that those who criticize Israel are ill-informed.
If all of those people who are condemning Israel were the recipients, not of 10,000 rockets, but of 1 rocket, I dare say that they would feel very, very differently.
As U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry tries to broker a ceasefire through Egypt and the Arab League, Israel continues to bomb Hamas targets in Gaza, while in return, Hamas fires more rockets into Israel. In Washington, Mariama Diallo, VOA News.